over. I can't even remember, Gary, the 2 nights. All right, Jerry, you got the videos up on your side? Okay.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Nashville, Tennessee, Music City, the birthplace of country music. And tonight, the host of Race 12 of our 13-race regular season Nashville Super Speedway MRL Wednesday Night Xfinity Racing. And we are about to go live. We've got those cars getting ready for their qualifying session. You've got the voice of MRL, Mean Gene Money, with my tag team partner, Kevin Kyle. Kevin, tonight is got to be a serious situation for a lot of these drivers, as we've only got 2 races left until the cutoff and the race for the chase begins.
Yeah, Mean Gene, this is getting to the tight race here to the end of the playoffs there, Mean Gene. So every driver's going to be doing their best out there to try to punch their ticket into the next round, into the round of 16, I believe. So everybody stay tuned, especially from last week with lots of incidents and we also had some great racing last week also. So be really excited to see how this field is able to straighten out the turns of Nashville.
Well, you say we had some good racing. We did have that. Remember David Cook? He took his 3rd win of the season at Dover last week. Nate Maurer forced to take fuel, and that allowed David Cook to come around. David did have the fastest car. It's not like he took that thing from Nate. After the race, Nate Maurer, though, he had choice words for any MRL officials or any driver that would listen, that these gas mileage races were a joke, and he thought that race was his to win. So Nate Maurer, your points leader, David Cook, took that victory at Dover. And the 3rd driver, David Owens, those 3 names, Zach, they have won the last 8 races here in Wednesday Night Xfinity. I mean, you think we're going to see another one of these 3, or maybe is there going to be a lucky dog coming out of nowhere?
I think something has to happen to either one of those drivers you mentioned for someone else to make their way through this dominant front of the field. I don't see anyone else being able to challenge them really there, Mean Gene, unless they need to. They need to be able to show these other guys that they're a force to be reckoned with going into the playoffs. And but we'll see. But I don't think so. As long as those big names are still around at the end of the race, look out.
It's going to be tough. There's 30 drivers here tonight at Nashville. Some of the names we're going to look at from practice. Matt Tucker, he laid down a burner. He had the fastest lap. Matt has won a stage before here, but can he put it together and put a challenge on? Bobby Dodson, Alex McWhorter. These are some of the other fast drivers, but then guess what? Who's right after that, Zach? David KK, it's David Cook, it's David Owens. So you're going to see, again, a battle, Highlander style. There can be only one. Which one of these Davids is going to take it? Last year at Nashville, it was David Owens. David Owens led 121 of 145 laps here, and he took that checkered flag. Another name we might want to keep an eye on, though, who took the pole last year, was Joe Volpes. Joe has looked strong early in these races, but has yet to seal the deal. Maybe tonight, KK?
Tonight might be the night. Joe's really good at Nashville, so is David Owens, so I know they have a lot of speed here, just depending on the discipline. I know Joe's pretty good on the next gen car, so we'll have to see how he does here on the B Series car.
Joe Volpes, he will be starting in 10th place tonight. Something for us to keep an eye on, ladies and gentlemen. There's going to be 2 stage breaks. Caution will be called at those. We're doing 140 laps here tonight. The stage breaks will be at 45 and 95. These stage points, so important, especially for these guys battling to find their way into the top 10 to get those bonus points. 14 drivers are going to be in that race for the chase. And right now, the guy in 14th, Sean Walton, I think he's got to feel pretty good. He's got a nice 13-point gap over Robert Richards. We lost Robert due to that softball injury. And then he's 22 ahead, 32 ahead of Bobby Dodson. But Sean Walton, he might have a tiny problem today, KK.
That's right there, Mean Gene. Sean Walton's been issued an EOL penalty, so he'll be starting at the rear of the field for the incident from last week with Chris Morrill.
Well, I mean, he was driving, he was doing his thing, and what, Chris just got in front of him, right? I mean, that's just a racing incident, right?
No. Chris had a little help there from old Walton going down into the apron, and then once he was down in the apron, he couldn't keep control of that car. You could see the wheels turn to the left, trying to keep that thing down off the track, but just couldn't do nothing with that extra speed there, Mean Gene.
Isn't that one of the Beatles' top hits, though? I get by with a little help from my friends. And that's exactly what we saw Walton could do. Walton came into that turn a little bit hard. Okay, I'll give you that much. And he did make some contact with the rear of Smurrell. Smurrell then down onto the apron, lost control of his car. We did that in-view car cam, and you could see him feathering the throttle, turning the wheel left, trying to go away, but he was just thrown back up onto the track quicker than a Randy Johnson fastball. And unfortunately, Joe Volpus was the seagull, and he exploded when Smurrell ran into him. No quick repairs, so if you get in trouble out here, it's going to be an issue. Here we go. We are about to go live. You can see right now David Cook on the pole is leading him. He's your control car coming in. And there's that jump by Cook. Cook is on the bottom. He's got Matt Tucker up there on the outside of him. Great start by Tucker. Bobby Dodson, Colin Bollinger side by side behind them. Lots of side-by-side racing here live at Nashville. David Cook right now trying to take control. He's on that outside in Cook's Parkway.
Yeah, I mean, Gene, as Cook heads out to a great lead, the 66 of Matt Tucker did a great job on the pole, or second position is now in P2, followed right behind by Bobby Dodson. And you also have the 50, I believe that's the 53 of Bollinger further back, getting chased by David Brenner and Nate Maurer in the 971. Going to give up the top five.
Nate Maurer is going to be a guy we're going to want to keep an eye on. He was a little bit hot after that race, that gas mileage issue. So, you know, he's got 10 toes.
Yellow flag, Mean Gene, yellow flag.
What? We just started that thing.
I know.
I see some talk on the radio right now. Looks like Robert Babcock talking Manley. Was he part of that? Let's take a look.
Yeah, let's see what we got here. Wide view. Eight guys on the 48, 933, 26 here. I believe this is where some of it starts. 26 gets knocked on the infield. Throwing a caution for a little lawn care there by the 26. Remember, folks, you can get all your lawn care needs taken care of at Home Depot there. That's the sponsor of Hunter Oso Manley.
Hunter Manley, he is not needing incidents today. Hunter's in 11th, but remember, only the top 10 are going to get bonus points going into that chase for that final regular season position. So he'd like to keep his run going, but right now he is the recipient of a little bit of touch-up on that car as he shot through the lawn. So we have experienced our first caution of the day. Remember, MRL officials did make an adjustment to the rule. If you are the cause of 2 incidents, you're going to get that black flag, and once you do the third one, they're going to go ahead and hit that DQ button for the race. Right now, it looks like Kyle Lynn, driver of the 988, has received that EOL penalty, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. If Kyle Lynn is the instigator, I don't know if that's the right word, initiator, that's the one, of an incident, of a caution, he could find himself getting a black flag and doing a little bit of a drive-through. Not what we want to see, but if you're the other drivers, you have to appreciate it. KK, we've seen the incident count go lower as MRL put this rule into play, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I'd say so. It's given drivers an extra thought of, maybe we shouldn't be too much aggressive, but at the same time, not getting through the first lap here at Nashville is not a great start. But we also have a lot of cars here. I believe this is one of the bigger fields we show here on the broadcasting network. So just something else to keep a lookout. And we do have a couple. Looks like we have one 3-digit number as a rookie. That's Dylan Tibbetts. He's showing me right now he's in position 17. So we'll have to keep an eye out there for old 933.
Well, hopefully he'll be able to manage to make it away around the track. One thing you don't want to do, and there was no 900 number involved, is be 3 wide, shooting down, coming out of a turn. Very difficult. As far as the fuel and the tires go, I was told by the drivers that they can make probably about 45 laps without trying to save fuel. So definitely after this first caution, we're gonna have enough gas to make it all the way to the end of that first stage break. Now tires, KK, that's where they become an issue. I've heard these guys say in as quick as 10 laps, these things start to get tight and plowing. So that's something that we're going to need to keep an eye on as we progress. Right now, we're on lap 5, not an issue getting that caution so early. The lights are off of that pace car, so I expect we're going to see some more green flag racing very soon. David Cook, Matt Tucker, still your front row. Bobby Dodson, Colin Bollinger, David Brenner, Nate Maurer. That's going to be your front 6. Let's see how quick this time Cook can get that inside lane running. Matt Tucker did a hell of a job keeping up with him there, KK.
Yeah, he sure did. Mean Gene, and tires will be the name of the game here, especially since these guys have making another 45 laps. We'll see how well they can manage it here and also keep their speed as David Cook hits that restart zone.
Wow, and he is shot like a cannon. Only 20 cars in this lead group right here. There's a little breakaway. But speak of breakaway, it is the 71 of Cook. He hits Cook Parkway there on the outside, and you can see he's got a good 5-car link behind him. Dodson, Tucker side by side, and then Bollinger and Brenner side by side. That 971 of Nate Maurer lurking behind them. And then, hey, I see the 15 of Alex McWhorter peeking his face in there. And McWhorter, he is in a must-win situation. Need to see some patient driving out of McWhorter and see if he could take advantage toward the end of the race. Winning a stage ain't going to do it for Alex McWhorter and a lot of these drivers in that must-win situation. So they need to be patient. Keep in mind, no quick repairs. So if you start foolishness, you're going to pay.
Yeah, we're up here in the Farmers Only blimp, taking a look at the shot from above as we can see Matt Novella battling out. There's the 88 of Louis, the 13 of Espy, and the number 3 of Don Francisco. I've shown him in the gold-colored Earnhardt number 3 there, looking good from far above.
I love those Earnhardt schemes. You know, Dale Earnhardt, legend of NASCAR. And so anytime you see somebody going to wear that car, A, it's a bold statement, and B, it's a great call-out little respect, homage to that NASCAR legend. Car starting to single file race, though. You can see Novella, though. He's back there side by side. Novella's in that orange, green, and yellow machine as he's doing a little bit of side by side racing with Jay Stinson. Ooh, little wall tap, going to let Stinson go by. Novella off the throttle a little bit, and Novella now with a little side by side racing with Chris Cornett. Cornett, he ran so fast last week, but just came up a little bit short. 44, Chris Cornett, that's another guy with a lot of speed, running up in the top 5 in points. Nashville, he did not practice well, did not have a good qualifying time, but he has said before he gets a little bit faster once he's on the track and he has cars around him. This is going to be an opportunity for him to put that on display because right now he's running in the back in 17th place. Nice side-by-side racing right there, KK. These guys look like pros.
Oh yeah, they're looking real good, and we're getting some green flag laps down, so couldn't ask for anything more right now as we're getting this race, getting some rhythm.
Yeah, that's what we want to see. Give these guys a chance to really make play. Again, 10 laps under green. They said these cars are going to start plowing. Around 30, they said that right front just disappears. So let's see if they can put some green flag laps in. Remember, that stage break not scheduled till lap 45. So this is a good chance. Play it patient. Watch what the guy in front of you is doing. Figure out his line. And if he goes high, once these tires start plowing, then maybe you can roll a little bit better. Like right there, the 13, he had a nice roll. But right now, these guys, Jay Stinson, he's willing to burn the tires off that car. And he just powers through that turn to keep that position. Good racing right now here at Nashville.
Yeah, and here comes Cornette in the 44, trying to make a move. He's got some momentum on the 13. He's going to slide in between there and look for his next victim. As some of the better known drivers, better skilled drivers are starting to make their way up through the field.
It's funny you use that word skill because it is a thing about longevity. The longer that you're on a track, the more time you put into these cars, of course, the better that you're going to get. But that natural ability comes in, or lack thereof when we're referring to my driving ability. No matter how long I am in this car, I still manage to spin that thing around and run a little bit slower time than some of these pros. But the longer you run, the better you're going to get. And that's what we're seeing. All those guys that started with those 900 numbers that designate them as rookies, they're up in the front now. They're running hard. I mean, you know, David Cook is still called a rookie. The race leader right now, David Cook, 3 wins on the season, got the outside lane named after him, David Cook. That guy is still called a rookie, but he's not on the track doing that. Bobby Dodson's called a rookie. So even though they've got that R, they've won somewhere else. And now 12 races into this season, they are on equal footing almost with any of the other drivers. So that's what's really great about MRL, is just how competitive it can get, especially this deep into a season. And speaking of MRL, ladies and gentlemen, take this opportunity, go ahead and hit subscribe, go ahead and hit like. It's your interest in our races that's going to keep these guys driving, that's going to keep us on the air and allow you to see some of this wonderful camera angles provided by KK in the booth, making that happen, keeping me on the mic. Zach Panzarelli, he's not here with us tonight, but he's our Monday night guy as well. Go ahead and hit like, go ahead and hit subscribe, tell your friends, tell your parents, get your dog to watch on the laptop, and we'll take all of the subscribers we can. Ooh, Cornet right now, a little more side-by-side racing right there with Dave Kirkpatrick. And Kirkpatrick with that outside lane. Ooh.
Yeah, I got to keep an eye on there, but it looks like Cornet's going to make easy work there. The 27, that's 27. Maybe looks to make another bid, but now Cornet's got to deal with the likes of 88 of Steve Lewis there. See if he can work his way around Lewis and make his way up to the 89 of Stinson.
Yeah, a lot of good racing right here. You know, Steve Lewis, he's looking for a good run. He's been running middle of the pack for a minute. He had an opportunity to win a Thursday night in our truck series. Late caution cost Louis that opportunity. Spinning tires and a bad restart cost him that race, Steve Lewis. He loved to get a little bit of redemption here tonight after not being able to seal the deal Thursday in that truck race. Been a hot minute from Louis seeing victory lane, but he's always a guy that with a little bit of luck and a little bit of consistency, he'll push his way right up there, find him a podium, maybe find him a victory lane spot. But the story for victory lane right now, David Cook, David Owens, Nate Maurer, those are the 3 guys that have just managed to dominate the last 8 races. And this is no different. As you can see, 71, David Cook, he's on Cook's Parkway, finding that perfect turn. But how about right behind him, that Matt Tucker, 66, KK? He just won't go away, will he?
Oh, Matt Tucker, power to be reckoned with here is he's sporting a, I mean, just looking at his skill level, he's probably one of the higher I rating guys in the lobby at a 3,000 plus 3,000. So keep an eye on Matt Tucker making a move here and trying to take out the giant, the Goliath of David Cook.
Wow, I've heard of Power Man 5,000. I've never quite heard of Matt Tucker 3,000. So that is a guy we're going to have to keep an eye on. He snuck in here. I thought there was a cap at 2,700. We'll have to check in with MRL officials after that. Little bit of tidbit of knowledge that you just shared with us, KK. Nothing like a ringer coming in a vacuum to sound that bell and take that win. Yeah, I bet Nate Maurer would have some fun stuff to say if he finds himself losing out on another victory because of some foolishness beyond his control.
Oh, I hear wrecking. I think we got a yellow there, Mean Gene. All types of wrecking going on.
Let's go ahead and put a mark next to my yellow flag counter, and that's going to be number 2.
It's 933, the rookie we were just talking about.
What? Well, he's got the Kyle Petty car. No, Kyle Petty in the mellow yellow does not wreck. Is that Joe? Oh, is that Joe Amato? No.
Joe Amato.
Say it isn't so, Joe. Say it isn't so, Joe.
All right, keep your eyes here on the 28, 933. Exactly what happened here. Fighting for the same real estate. To be honest with you, I'm not sure. See if we can get in there and look at it from above.
What happened to the 57 there? It looked like he was just looking in the rearview mirror and then he spun as well.
Yeah, the
Yeah, it's
57.
got
I
to be
think.
some net code.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, he just
Oh,
nips him.
yeah.
Gets
Well, you
into
know
the
what it was.
48.
Amato clearly is a dark soda drinker, and he had an opportunity to take out Mellow Yellow and Mountain Dew in the same move. And that's what happens. Those yellow drinks just go down. There's the 48. He looked like his front right was just
Yeah.
not operating for him. Unfortunateness there for Scott Espy. They are going to weigh that 48 as soon as he gets into that pit, too. So that just might compound that insult that he is feeling right now. But that was our second caution. We are on lap 22. Little bit of unfortunateness there. I might call that a racing incident. It looked like, the rookie was holding his line, and it looked like Amato was coming up a little bit into him. But when you're just looking out the front of your window, and unless you've got 3 monitors up there, KK, it can be really hard to see what's going on your flanks.
Yeah, even with 3 monitors, Mean Gene, it's tough to see everything unless you have a setup like Jared Kelly. Jared Kelly has 34-inch curves. And he's got about 4 of them. He's basically in an orb. You've seen the Las Vegas Spear. Well, it has nothing on that. So, yeah, but other than that, it is tough to see there, Mean Gene, if you are dealing with 1 or 3 monitors. So, yeah, just racing incident. I'm with you. And then, unfortunately, what number? Who got hit there? Just got nipped in the butt? The 53 or no?
I think that was the 57 of Thomas Fox, minding his own business.
And I feel like Thomas Fox has been caught up in a lot of stuff that maybe wasn't his fault. So
No,
that's unfortunate.
I agree. We've seen Tommy get whacked a couple of times. Tommy is a good top 10 possibility week in and week out. What he needs is just to have some clear track in front of him. Unfortunately, I mean, he was clear. That had to be some netcode foolishness that caught him up. It barely just touched him. But for him, really bad luck. All right, and now we are looking. Everybody is still out there. We haven't seen anybody park their cars yet.
David Cook came in and got 6 seconds of fuel, it looks like. So that's going to set him back in position 22 at the moment, I believe. So that 6-second stop for fuel to get him to the end of the stage. That's going to put him back at 17th spot. See how he can rebound from that. And
Joe
also
doing that.
Yeah, that's going to leave Matt Tucker in the big 66 there from Indiana. He's going to be coming from pole there, qualified second, so he'll definitely have the speed as that pace car comes off Mean Gene and getting ready for Geico restart zone.
He's on the outside, the 66 of Tucker. He has been chasing David Cook. Now he's got Bobby Dodson next to him. Nice jump. Dodson lets him go. Nate Maurer right behind Bobby Dodson. And then you can see the 22 of David Brenner also in the picture. But right now it's that jump by Tucker as he is hauling some serious tail around this track, looking to steal this first stage in his win category. Lap 24, and we are racing to lap 45. So not even halfway there yet. So maybe what Cook and Volpus did was not going to hurt them in the long run if they can get some open racing here. But right now, he has got Bobby Dodson. Remember, Bobby Dodson and Matt Tucker, they did lay down 2 of the 3 fastest laps in practice. So I'm not surprised to see them out there, KK.
No, not at all. They are right where they're supposed to be with those fast times, and they're putting on a show. But a lot of aggressiveness right now here on this restart as people are trying to fight for every spot they can before this stage break.
Yeah, you can't take the chance that it's going to happen. Right now, though, 26 laps into this thing, these tires have got to start to be a problem. And look at how quickly Nate closes that gap on Bobby, looking for Bobby to wiggle. Bobby doesn't wiggle, and then Nate backs right back off and still has a nice, smooth run. Not a lot of guys out there can roll a car the way that Nate Maurer can, and that's one of the ways that you're going to win. A guy who can roll the car like that is David Cook. But after taking those tires, David Cook finds himself back in the soup as he's trying to make his way back through this crowd and make himself a factor again. But for now, Cook running that 71 way back in 19th. He's knee deep in all of that foolishness. Really nice racing right there. You can see Novella putting on moves. The 24 of Ty Killa. We really haven't got to talk about Ty very much. Ty's in a must-win. And there's that 23 of Sean Walton. Remember, he got that EOL at the very beginning of the race, and yet he's starting to make his way through traffic running 14th. Remember, there are 31 cars out here. We still got 21 cars on the lead lap. I think I might be having an issue with my top 35 again. How many cars you show on the lead lap there, KK?
Let's see there, Mean Gene. I got 28 cars on the lead lap at the moment.
Oh, yeah, I'm having a fun time with mine. Side-by-side racing, you can see the 27 and the 24. Really interesting by Kirkpatrick, as he has the fortitude to stay side-by-side with Ty Killa. There's Kyle Lynn. He'd like to cut down. Remember, Lynn, as he touches the apron, was involved in an incident. If he is the cause of one more of those, Lynn, that's that turquoise car on the inside. Teal, turquoise, let's go with teal. If he touches another person, he's going to end up with a little bit of black flag drive-through. So he's got a little bit of extra reason to be cautious. But right now, he's pushing that thing hard, really eating folks up. That's 4 passes in 2 turns there, KK.
Yeah, Kyle Knott's going to have to knock on everyone's door at each racetrack they go to and let him know that he's out on the track if he touches another car out there.
Well, he's got Sean Walton right in front of him in that 23. Sean's used to doing the touch and not being touched, so that would be a really interesting incident. That's Chris, that right in front, though, that is Chris Cornett. Cornett kind of holding up this bunch. Matt Novella's going to peek underneath. Cornett going the wrong way, but he's on that outside lane, which has a quicker time. Those guys are bunching up, KK. That might be where pressure burst pipes right there. Oh, a little bit of contact.
Yeah, Ty Killa at 89. Yep. Oh, as Kirkpatrick drives to the inside under a Hunter O'Malley, and he's going to go up the track and get touched. He's going to cause a backup between 26 and Kirkpatrick and 88 of Steve Lewis, as that's going to bring out another caution.
A Wednesday night caution. Wow. It looks like they kept it going straight, though, so MRL has been consistent about calling these cautions. When too many cars slow down to try to avoid the crashes. You can see Stephen Neal in that 45 going down on that apron, and that's why they call them. You could see Neal go down on the apron to avoid the contact. If he came back up at speed, that's trouble. Let's see what happens here.
Yeah, 27 dives underneath, has a huge head of speed. And I think Dave's just not able to keep that down. 89's keeping his line, but Dave just plows tight into the corner. And it's going to get a little bit loose, and that's going to slow him down. Yep.
And Louis like, hey, I'm the hammer, you're the nail. Let's do this.
Yeah. Hunter checks up for the 27, and Steve just didn't have anywhere to go. It happened pretty quick. So, unfortunately there for Hunter, is he's going to have a little bit of front end damage and rear end damage there, as that brings out our, I lost track of the yellows. I think that's only our 3rd, though. 3.
That's only the 3rd. Yeah. I got a little room. I got a little room over here as I'm counting them off.
Oh, yeah. So that's going to bring that one out. And let's take a look at our leaders, see if anyone else needs to come and get pit service done.
And look, now David Cook and Joe Volpus looking like geniuses, because now everybody's slowed down. Looks like Cook, though, he is going to go back in. And you know what? He needs 6 seconds less fuel than everybody else at this point. But I wonder if he's going to take some tires. Why not? You got about 12 laps until the end of this stage. Oh, and I see him get jacked up on one side.
Yeah, you're right there, Mean Gene. Looks like he's probably going to flip this stage and go for the win. So he'll look for him to take it easy on the restart and the end of this stage, and be ready to go for the next restart.
Really interesting. So many opportunities for different strategies here. Now, because of the number of laps with each of these stages, it's very difficult for the gas strategy to become an issue. You're going to see most people make it on no pit stops in a green flag stage 1, 1 pit stop on going into the end of that 2nd, and 1 going into that 3rd. So the cautions really have determined when those people are going to take gas. So it's hard to get on your own strategy for fuel. But tires, KK, tires is where it can get really interesting. Wouldn't you say? This track is the largest concrete track on the NASCAR circuit. Does concrete really make a difference on these tires? I mean, the drivers think so tonight.
I don't know. I think it just depends on. I would say asphalt would chew up them more, but the concrete might take the rubber better, might rubber in better or worse. So it's hard to say. I wouldn't say it would be that big of a tire eater compared to some of these asphalt tracks we go to. But it's just more about the braking into the corners, getting hard on the brakes, having to get that car slowed down to make the turn. That's what's going to eat up the brakes, is what's going to eat up the tires and wear.
Yeah, we'll have to get our partner YZ to give us a little report on that. Maybe he can do some tracks on asphalt, laps on an asphalt, laps on a concrete. Tell us what he thinks. I see the pace car has turned its lights off, so we I think are 1 lap away from getting that restart. Right now, Matt Tucker, he is your leader. Top 9 cars, all on those initial tires. So they are 34 laps into these tires, and they have used 34 laps of fuel. After that, Kyle Lynn looks like he came in briefly. Joe Volpus running up in 11th. Remember, he and David Cook did pit just a few laps ago. Other cars to note, Matt Novella in the 15. Matt Novella in that 56. Looks like he took an opportunity to pit, and he's being rotated through. So what does that look like? Top 19 cars minus Joe Volpus are all 35 laps into this thing?
Yeah, I'm looking at top 28 cars. Yes, top 28 cars on the lead lap. Scotty Estep's going to be minus 14. It's a lot of that damaged cars below that, but everyone else is mostly on the lead lap. And Joseph Volpus, I'm trying to find out where he was. Yeah, took some tires
11th?
there. Yeah, running 11th and took tires along with Kyle Lynn from the earlier stop. So look for them to be some big shakers and movers here, see if they can get themselves some stage points, and they're going to be starting from the 10th and 11th position.
Yeah, people talk about these things start to plow once you're 10 laps into it. So all of these cars, except for those two and Cook, going to experience that and be susceptible to a pass. All right, we have the pace car off. Matt Tucker is your control car. He's on the outside lane. He's got Nate Maurer in the orange car. Big start right there by Matt Tucker. He of the 3,000 driver rating. Right out of that thing like a rocket. Nate Maurer underneath. You can see Colin Bollinger on the outside. Whoa, Brenner comes in hot, gets control of his car, and maintains 4th position. Top 4 cars, single file. 5th place, the Rooster, Robert Babcock. Bobby Dodson behind him. And here we go. One of the Davids, David Owens, made his way up into 7th place. Alex McWhorter, Kyle Lynn, and Nicholas Don Francesco. That is your top 10. Right now, though, the story is Matt Tucker, but he's got a rear view mirror full of our series leader, Nate Maurer. Can he hold on as Maurer comes in hot and rolls that thing like a pro, like the series leader that he is, as he is trying to make work of Matt Tucker. But Tucker, he has been leading laps and following David Cook, so he knows a fast line when he sees it, KK.
Yeah, that's definitely for sure. Now Bollinger underneath the 971, trying to get that spot side by side to give Nate some trouble here heading into turn 1. He looks like he's going to get side by side on entry. Let's see what the 53 can do.
Caution on the track. We're going to make mark number 4. Experience our 4th caution here at lap 38.
It's going to be the number 30. He's turning around, not looking the right way on the track. Let's rewind. It looks like it's going to be involved with the 97 of the Swingles. And
I don't know. Looks like could be McWhorter made a little bit of contact too. Let's take a look here.
All right, let's roll that beautiful beam footage.
Oh, that was Espy in the 13 there. Oh, and he hooks him.
I don't think he hooks him. I think it's more of the 30 thinks he's clear and he clears himself in front of the 97. 97 honestly didn't have anywhere to go. He driving straight against the wall.
That's Richard Swingle in the 97, and that is Stephen Bryan, the New England driver, in the 30. Yeah, and I think you're right. On that replay, you can see Brian is just trying to get as much speed as he can out of that number 30 Chevrolet, and unfortunately, that's going to lead him right up and into the 97 of Richard Swingle. Swingle nowhere he could go. He's not Kitty Pryde, and he's not the Vision, so he's not going to phase through that wall. Unfortunately, he's just going to whack it. And lots of people going to come and take a peek in the pits.
Yeah, we got everyone coming down the pit road here.
What if you're those lead cars? There's only 6 laps left, probably 4 or 3 when we go green. Do you just try to man it out, or do you have to start thinking about the pit time in between going into that next stage, or do you just say I'm going to make it work?
I think it's more about what's more important to you, stage points at this time, and that's going to help you get into the playoffs, or like you said earlier, like something like David Cook did, took tires with 10 laps to go. He's getting another caution, which is great for him. We'll have to keep an eye on him and some of the other guys that took tires. Let's see how long ago that was. Lap
well, I'm looking out there, and it looks like the 66 of Matt Tucker and the 971 of Nate Maurer, they are staying out with just 6 laps as they cross over, completing lap 40.
Yeah,
so
they've been on the track the
risk.
whole time. Yeah, your top 5 have been out there, and then you have Kyle Lynott, which came in about 20 laps ago on fresh tires. So keep an eye on the 988 of Kyle Lynott. See if he can make a big push for a stage win with this shootout that we're going to have. And also, who else we got here? Joseph Volpis, though he's still in P10. Joseph didn't do that great a job on those fresher tires, so some guys to keep an eye out for. And then you have the likes of Matt Novella, Thomas Fox, Fred Lester, Richard Swingle, which was involved in that caution that got fresh tires and are going to probably try to flip this stage going into the next stage.
Yeah, I think at some point you got to make that call. If you know that you're not going to take the stage win, or even just to get that top 5, why not start thinking about this next stage? Set yourself up to try to sneak into it. What's the line? You know, I know me personally, I need 1 point. I'm willing to stay out there to get a 10th place finish. And Joe Volpis, though, with that earlier pit, I think he's setting himself up. He's sitting in 10th. And I think he's in a perfect place to just stay out there and manage to get himself top 10 points. I think it's funny, Joe's running 10th, and Joe is 10th in points. Just 7 points behind the Rooster, Babcock. Babcock right now running a little bit further ahead of him. But these points, they are so tight. And with 30 competitors in a race, one bad day or one good day can really make a big old swing.
Yeah, no kidding there, Mean Gene. Couldn't agree more with you there. So now remember, these guys, like, you know, that we just mentioned, that top 5, they haven't taken tires. All that means for them is that later on in the race, with kind of the caution field, how it's been, it's going to help them by having them have an extra set of tires in the bank. So we'll have to see how this all plays out here, as we're going to have about 7 laps to go at this at the green flag.
Yeah, they do have 5 sets of tires, the 1 on the car, the 4 in the pit. Be interesting to see exactly the strategy of there. And we are racing to get to lap 45. I'm showing they're on lap 42 right now. So this is going to be, what, 3 laps?
Be 2, right? They're going to cross it. That'll be lap 43, and then 43,
well,
44, 45. Yeah, 3. You're right. Yes.
You want to give me a percentage odds on a caution in these 3 laps? Give me 5 to 1. Give me 5 to 1 on this.
What do you tell me a number and I'll tell you higher or lower.
You can go the over under on this thing.
Oh, the over. Oh, on your percentage. What's your percentage?
Yeah, we'll get it. Yeah, we'll have to bet a Richard Swingle car wrap on it. Richard Swingle always making some nice wraps out there. If you want a car wrap, you want to get a paint job, talk to that guy. And we're green, gonna go green here. Good race, and you can see Tucker on the outside. Nate Maurer, he's peeking down low. David Brenner definitely took that outside lane away from Maurer. Maurer forced to stay down low. There's Kyle Lynn making a run. Colin Bollinger in the 53 down on that inside. And then Robert Babcock, top 6, running strong. But right now it's Matt Tucker. We're on lap 43. So we only got a couple of laps left until we're going to call this first stage. Strong running. We can look back. Look at Joe Volpa starting to make some quick work of other cars as well, as he is on a different strategy. Really strong running in the back. Woo, Chris Cornett, he is coming in hot as well, forced to let off the throttle a little further back. Hey, there's the 48. I guess they got done weighing that car, and he comes out of the pits, and he's back on the track. Right now, though, they are going as hard as they can. One more round, this thing will be official for a first stage finish. Look at Babcock down with Kyle Lynn. Lynn makes contact with Brenner. That taps Babcock down on, and there's your caution. Not sure if that's what caused it. I'd be sad if it was.
No, that's got to be caution in there, Mean Gene. That's a completion of lap 45, going on the 45. So
there we go. All right. Okay. Whew. We're not going to count that on my caution counter. But Matt Tucker, he of the 3,000 driver rating, is going to take his second stage win of the year. That's going to be Nate Maurer behind him. Hey, how about Colin Bollinger making his way up into third? Great run by the 53 Toyota. David Brenner fourth, Kyle Lynn fifth, Joe Volpus sixth, Babcock 7, McWhorter 8, Sean Walton ninth. Good recovery from that early EOL. And Nicholas Don Francesco, is that your top 10? Really good. 4 cautions. We'd like to see less, KK, but I'm going to take it for 31 drivers.
Yeah, we're going to take it because we have to there, Mean Gene. And it wasn't that bad. Just everyone getting straightened out, being on the big track here in Nashville. So great race so far. And we're going to see now who's going to be taking pit stops. Obviously, this top bunch is going to come in. We're going to keep our eyes on the likes of David Cook, see if he only gets fuel only or if he even comes in. Kyle Knott's going to stay out. Looks like he decides to stay out. There's the 71 of Cook staying out as he's going to get some massive track positions. The same thing as the 13 of Aaron Espy. He's going to stay out. The number 11 of David Owens is also staying out.
There's some serious strategy going on. All right, I'm going to see if I can pull down Matt Tucker, give him a little question in here. Let's see how successful we are.
Let's let him get off of out of pit lane first before you bring him in.
No, I want to see him multitask. He's got a 3,000 rating. He can do this. Looks like he's going to come win that race off pit road for those guys that did pit.
All right, you have my blessing.
Matt Tucker, driver of the 66 Chevrolet. Do I got you, Matt?
Yes.
Matt Tucker, Mean Gene Money, KK up in the booth. Well, coming through. You know, I'm a big fan of Powerman 5000, but I'm starting to become a fan of Matt Tucker 3000. Once you got rid of David Cook, did you feel like that thing was yours?
I mean, yeah, it was a good first stage. I mean, I think was catching David a little bit there before he pitted in that one caution. And then the 971 is pretty fast too. So just was trying to manage tires there, and luckily he got the stage win.
Yeah, we really see cars start to plow about 10 laps into this thing. People taking that opportunity to duck under. You passed him in the pits, held on to that thing. They tried to get close to you, but they just didn't have an answer. How about stage 2? Do you feel like you got the strategy to be up there as well?
We'll see. This stage is a little longer, so you might see some green flag stops here. So don't know. It's depend on if there's any cautions or not, though. So, but we'll see. Let's just see how it plays out.
All right, bud. Hell of a show. Thanks so much. I'm going to put you back up in your channel, man. Good luck out there.
All right. Thanks. Appreciate it.
All right, Mean Gene, you're talking about plowing so much. Let's take a look from our Farmers Only blimp cam. As we take a look at the down from above, remember, folks, you don't have to be lonely at farmersonly.com. Big shout out to them and all the support they give us and our lonely drivers out there. As the field space car is still on, I believe the lights are on as we're getting ready to get stage 2 kicked off and underway. And while they're doing that, I mean, Gene, I think I have a little promo I would want to play that my buddy put together. It's gonna be yeah, it's a little video here that's gonna showcase it's our Legends 87, the race on Saturday mornings. Come join us. We got a recruitment race this Saturday morning. This time starts at 8 a.m. Eastern. So it's a 1-hour race. Just with say it again.
All right, we're going to head back. Looks like Kyle Lynn is trying to have a relationship with the pace car. Good for him. They do things a little bit different up north. But for right now, Kyle Lynn will be your control car. And the 71 of David Cook has made his way back into the top 10. But it's going to be Lynn on the outside. He will be your control car in that 968 Ford. Pace car is off. We are waiting to see what Lynn does with that outside lane. He is your control car. Aaron Espy and David Owens has made his way up into the top 5. And we are green. Kyle Lynn, strong run, leaves Cook in the dust. Owens gets a good run. He's almost side by side, but Cook is going to get a push from Aaron Espy in that 13. Outside lane, that's Cook and Novella going hard, but Lynn is going to pull away. David Cook is going to slide into second and let the battle for the Davids begin. There can be only one. David Cook, David Owens second and third. Remember, David Owens dominated Nashville last year. Don't let that guy in the front. Matt Novella running fourth in that beautiful green, yellow, and orange car. And fifth place behind him is going to be Matt Tucker. Tucker, is that Tucker already made his way back up into the top 5, KK?
Yes, sir. Yeah, he's already up a bunch of spots. I thought he was right there. I thought he was right there with Nate Maurer, but we were so focused on the beginning of the race, the front, that, yeah, Matt's already up there.
What a difference, too, because I'm showing an 11.5 pit for Matt, 13.6 for Nate. And yet it caused that big of a difference, just those 2 seconds of pit time. So, Lynn, your leader, David Cook, David Owens. You can see Owens making a move on the inside. He's trying to make it work for that 11 Ford right now, trying to go inside the Chevrolet of David Cook. But Cook on Cook's Parkway on that outside. He's going to wink at you right there and keep it going hard. Owens not going to clear him. This car's going to stay side by side. And that is exactly what Novella, and now the 66 of Tucker, side by side. Look at him shoot by Novella. Novella holds that speed to keep it competitive, but that 66, he's on a rail.
Yeah, the 66 definitely came out here to not play around. He's taking this to try to take these boys to the cleaners right now. As he's working his way up from back in the field now up to 5th spot, chasing down Matt Novella.
Oh, Lynn gets a little wiggly, and that's going to let Cook close the gap. David Owens looking under Lynn right now, side by side. And it's going to, Owens aggressive, almost makes contact on that slide job. Kyle Lynn is trying to do a crossover on him, and they touch again. Ooh, luckily, they got their shoes on, though, so we're okay. Little net code, I look like, pushes Lynn backwards. And Owens, now your race leader, as a caution is thrown. That is going to be caution number 5, KK.
Oh my, caution number 5. One of my favorite songs from back in the 2000s is we got Ty Killa missing a tire on the 24 machine. Oh, what a hard hit there to the 24.
Somebody's going to get suspended.
Let's take a look. And oh, the 89 gives him a little bit of a touch.
No, Jay Stinson did not. Jay did not do that. Jay Stinson, no. He would never do that. Let's
the
take a
bush
look.
car might have had too many bushes. Let's take a
All
look
right.
here.
So Sean Walton, he's like, I am in the clear. I didn't do it. Jay Stinson behind Ty Killa. That Stinson peaks down low, and yeah.
Got him.
Think we might see an EOL come out of that one. Pretty wild stuff. Not what David Owens wanted to see. David was clear. Kyle Lynn was holding his line as best he could, and that was creating a buffer between Owens and Cook. Ooh, I hear a Lucky Dog going around the track. Oh, and David Brenner, he's making jokes, talking about checking the weight of a car. Too soon, right? Unless you're me. It's too soon to say that.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, I mean, poor Alex Bowman.
It'll all
maybe he
make
shit
more
his
sense.
pants. Maybe he shit
It'll
his
all make more
pants
sense to the.
when he
Oh, is that
launched
what
off.
happened?
When he launched off that inside turtle and landed, he might have just shit his pants and just lost too much weight. I'm not sure exactly what could have. I think that's what the theory is out there.
I don't mean to break down on Bowman that much, but it'll all make sense to you fans at home when you see our Talladega broadcast. Why, I am not sad. Ooh, look at that right front. How do you come back from that? I think we might be seeing that car go behind the wall very soon.
Yeah, I mean, Gene, you take a look at that wheel well. The team's trying to get the lower and upper control arm connected back again. It's missing the whole steering knuckle. So it's going to take a lot of time for these guys to get that 24 back out on track. But let's see what our leader's doing at the time. That's David Owens.
Yeah, Kyle Lynn took that opportunity to bring it in. I'm looking at Lynn right now. Owens still out on track. He's got David Cook behind him, that 66 of Tucker. Matt Novella having a good day, making his into that top 5. And there's Joe Volpis. This seems like a parade for Gulf Coast Racing right now, with 3 of the members being in that top 5.
Yeah, the only parades I know Gulf Coast is involved is the ones in June there, Mean Gene, down in Florida. So I'm not aware of any parades going on right now on track, but you interested to see if David Owens can keep these guys at bay and keep that lead.
Now, didn't Chick-fil-A boycott that parade? I can't remember.
It might have.
Might have been a different parade, not really sure, but still, we are on lap 56. The next scheduled stage break will be at lap 95 when we finish this second stage, and points will be awarded. Still going to do 140 laps here today. We are experiencing our 5th caution of the day here live at Nashville Super Speedway. Remember, this is race 12 of 13. Once they get through that 13 race regular season, we will have 7 chase races. 14 drivers will continue to accumulate points. We are in a win and you're in situation. Lots of drivers needing a win to make it over that top of that hump. Specifically, we're looking at Bobby Dodson, Stephen Neal, Alex McWhorter, Christopher Knott, Steve Lewis, these guys needing a win. Matt Tucker, super competitive, that he's not going to have that prerequisite of 10 races to qualify. So Matt's just out here to play spoiler right now, kind of like when you used to watch Kyle Busch show up at an Xfinity race or a truck race and you're wondering why he's there. I feel like Matt Tucker might be in that Kyle Busch situation right now. He could just steal somebody's golden ticket. Willy Wonka is handing out golden tickets to get to the chase, and Matt Tucker would love to take it from somebody.
Matt Tucker's got an eye on a couple Oompa Loompas out there, so we'll see how he can move through the field and snatch this one out as we're right on board Nate Maurer on this restart, see what he's got in store for the field.
Race car is off. We are getting ready to go green. Right now, David Owens is your control car. He's on the outside, hits the Geico restart zone. Look how fast he went. You know he did a countdown for his teammate because Matt Novella is sticking to him like white on rice. David Cook on the inside running strong, but he runs into the air behind Novella's car and he's forced to slow down. Matt Tucker, he is in 4th, and then behind him we see Joe Volpis, the Gulf Coast teammate who didn't get the memo when those guys said let's go. but still really tight racing here, as you can see that 98, that purple car of Joe Volpus taking the air away from Tucker and keeping him back. 11 and 56, your leaders. Those two guys are teammates, and you know darn well that David Owens will definitely buy some Tootsies tonight for Novella if he can keep David Cook off of him. But David Cook, nothing has been able to stop him, not even a lack of fuel last week. He wins at Dover at the expense of Maurer, who had to stop for the fuel. So David Owens, he knows how to push a car, but David Cook knows how to push it even farther. Good racing here. Lap 61 of 140 right now. David Owens out in the lead in that 11 Tootsies car.
Yeah, looking back further in the field, we got 22 of David Brenner battling out between the 13 of Espy. They got the 89 of Stinson battling out also, and Sean Walton there trying to get through this mess and move his way up through the field.
That 27 of Kirkpatrick right behind Stinson. You know he's glad he's behind him after watching what happened with Stinson earlier with a little touchy causing that spin and wreck by Ty Killa. Look at that. You can see really tight racing right now is Cook to the outside of Novella. Tucker is going to go with him. These guys up front, they are being about as aggressive as you can without a wreck. But right now, the two Davids, there can only be one. And Owens, he won here last year. He knows how to make it around the track. Let's see if Cook decides if he's going to follow Owens for a few laps or if he is going to push this thing. Looks like Joe Volpus managed to get around his teammate Matt Novella, getting up into that 4th position. So 3 of your top 5 cars right now, Gulf Coast Racing teammates, and Cook and Tucker in the middle, odd men out as they are bookended by this racing team.
Yeah, Nate Maurer starting to catch up to the back end of the 56 of Matt Novella, and behind Nate Maurer, we have Colin Bollinger in the 53 making his way up to the front right now as we get some rhythm in this track. And there's the Rooster Babcock running. Where is Babcock right now? P8 at the moment. So a lot of the big names are starting to make their way up towards the front at the right now.
Yep, Don Francesco behind him, Alex McQuarter as well. McQuarter and Don Francesco both in a must-win situation. You know, I actually ran into the Rooster. We were at Kentucky Fried Chicken the other day, KK, and I asked him, you know, why does the Rooster go to KFC?
What do you have to say?
Because the chicken strips.
Hey now.
Good racing here at Nashville Super Speedway. You know, while I was talking to him, the Rooster, he was jumping out of his fire suit, and I couldn't help but notice he wasn't wearing underwear. And I asked him, you know, why doesn't the Rooster wear underwear? He said because his pecker's on his face.
Hey now.
Robert Babcock in the 2, the Rooster, running strong.
Where is my, there it is.
Hey, this just in, looks like the 24 of Ty Killa is behind the wall. He has parked it, unfortunately. That's going to be the end of the day for the 24. Action on the track, though. We can see the 71 and the 66 are really starting to get after it. Joe Volpus staying close to those two cars. That's Volpus in that 98, but you can see the 71 and the 66 really starting to duel. And David Owens, he'd love to just start hitting a rhythm here and just start running down lanes in that preferred line. Ooh, Cook gets a little bit loose out there, and that's going to give the 66 of Tucker that opportunity to sneak on by. Did pass by the 66, but he's on Cook's Parkway. Watch the momentum of this 71 coming around this outside turn. And he's going to wink at you for the effort. Oh, Volpus, looks like he might have stolen some of that side air, right?
Yeah, looks like he got a little tight and up on the wall. Just a little nick there. Shouldn't be too bad for anybody. Really good running right here. And, you know, these guys up front, these are the winners that we've seen week after week.
not a surprise. Nate Maurer, he's sneaking into this bunch in the back right there. Maurer currently running in 6th place as well. He's in this race picture. We are on lap 69, and we're going to be stopping at lap 95 for that caution to end the stage. So lots of track here left to burn up, lots of rubber and lots of concrete still to go. But you can see a lot of single file stuff, except for, Cook loose. And look at that move right there by Vulpes as he cuts under Cook. Novella giving him a little bit of a push. And if I'm Nate Maurer, I'm going to stick to the outside with Cook. I don't want to help those Gulf Coast teammates any more than they're going to help themselves. And Vulpes on that outside line. Vulpes got the pole last year and ran up front as well. So not a surprise to see him. And we talked about that at the beginning of this race, right? KK, this is the part where Vulpes usually makes an appearance. But can he keep this thing on the straight and narrow and be relevant at the end? That's that real question. But right now, what do you think? Joe looking pretty good out there.
Yeah, Joe's looking real good in that 98 Crown Royale Ford Mustang. So excited to see what Joe can put together, as he seems like you said, Mean Gene, little pep in his step this weekend and or this Wednesday night, and he's looking real good out there.
You know, and Joe's got a lot of support of his fans. You know, when I was coming through the crowd earlier, getting me some hot dogs, got a chili dog earlier, I ran into a 98 fan. You know, he had his Crown Royal shirt on, a guy named Ahmed. And Ahmed said that Joe was going to win and he'd see him on Monday. So I'm not sure what that meant. It seemed like code, but definitely an inside joke we'll have to ask Joe Vulpes about later. But right now, Joe Vulpes in that 98, running in 3rd. He would love to improve his position. He's in 10th in points. He'd love to move up. Behind him, you can see Maurer and the 56 of Novella with a little side-by-side racing. Matt Novella, you know, this guy is in the top 5, but he also has a job on that Gulf Coast team. Just like anybody, if you're not going to win, be a nuisance, right? Wouldn't you want that out of your teammate? Wouldn't you do that as a teammate? Be a nuisance for every other car on the track.
I mean, I'm trying to win, but if I can't win, I guess I'll be a nuisance.
Look, unless you're a number 2, you're going to try to help your teammates win. I've watched the 12 block for the 22. I've seen the 22 block for the 12. These guys are interchangeable. They've won championships, but they're also good teammates, and they're going to push their teammate to the victory. And also take wins when they can. And I think that's what we're seeing from Gulf Coast Racing right now. These guys are in sync. They communicate in the channel. Lots of teams do this. But right now with Owens in the league and Novella back there, you know, he was a little bit of a problem for Tucker. He was a problem for Cook. And now he's a problem for Nate Maurer. So definitely seeing some really good teamwork from these guys. Kyle Lynn now coming into the picture. He and Novella friends. We'll see how much trouble he's going to give him. Nate Maurer, though, he did make that move on Vulpes, pushes himself up into 3rd place. So now Owens, no more as he got teammates behind him. He looks more like the United States southern border, and it's basically an open door between Tucker and David Owens right now.
Oh, further back in the pack, Dave Kirkpatrick gets a little tight, high on exits, going to put the store on the number 8. It backs them up a little bit, but they are able to get through that okay. But now here comes Chris Cornett, the 26 of Hunter Oso Manley underneath David Brenner at the moment, as this pack is getting real tight, and this is all a fight for around P16 and 15. And
that's terrifying. That's terrifying. That's Bolander on the outside of the 27 as he's starting to make his way through. That's Steve Lewis in the 88, Alex McWhorter in the 15, Cornett below him, Hunter Manley in the orange car. This is some really tight racing back here. David Brenner in the 22 as well, part of that mess. Look at Lewis as he is trying to navigate that car through there, and they are closing up quickly on Bolander. Good racing.
Yeah,
good
Alex McWhorter almost rear-ended the 88, but 15 was able to move around to the outside, not let the 88 get such a great run. And then now watch Dave Kirkpatrick here. He's been having trouble off of exit. I feel like he gets slowed and has to really move up the track. Is he able to do it okay? Because now Steve's got the underneath line of the 27. Let's see what Steve can do now underneath the 27 as they're going to come together and touch. And now here comes Alex McWhorter trying to follow it through, but he's not able to. And that's going to open the door up for Chris Cornett in the 44 as the 44 looks to go underneath the 15 and has that momentum now as they're running down.
A lot of side-by-side racing. We're still keeping an eye up front. David Owens is still that leader up there. Matt Tucker chasing Nate Maurer, trying to close the gap. But the big battle is the one that we were looking at in that backfield. So you can still see they got that spacing. But that inside lane, this is some really scary stuff. Chris Cornett fast week in, week out.
There it is.
Okay.
There it is. 15's coming in way too hot, and Dave Kirkpatrick is slowing up for those corners. It's just a matter of time. That's why I was keeping the camera on that, as that's going to bring on another caution with 62 laps here to go at Smashville.
That is our number 6 caution of the day. Looks like everybody's still moving. Nobody's cussing anybody. I don't see any middle fingers. Except there's a little bit of profanity coming out of the 13 Chevrolet of Aaron Espy. That's always exciting. Can't wait to see how he feels about that later in the day.
Oh yeah, he's got such a cool temper, that old Espy car. Nothing really gets under his skin. Yeah.
You know, the secret is I'm always mad, and that just makes it easier. So David Owens, this is good for Owens. You know, he is the control car. He is an ace of getting that hole shot coming out of a restart. But he might take this opportunity to come down the pits, and that's what a good fake. Owens pretended he was coming down. Didn't we see the last time 2 cars pretend they were going to come down and maybe they touched coming back up?
Yeah, I mean, Gene, we saw that last night on, Monday in the Monday Night Mayhem series. We had Buddy Sally and David Cook pull this old maneuver, and they actually got spun. David Cook got spun by Buddy Sally. No damage really, as Cook
but he
was the
bobbed
winner
when
of
he
that
should have
series. Yeah.
Bobbed when he should have weaved. That was not good. But Owens, he pretended to come down just to see who he could bring with him. A few cars are taking the opportunity right now to take a pit, but with 14 laps remaining, looks like David Owens is choosing to stay out there. You know, Owens, he is trying to chase down Nate Maurer. He wants to close that gap. Maurer has that 41-point lead over David Owens, and David Cook right behind him. Cook is 47 behind. So those 3 cars still battling for this regular season championship. If I'm Nate Maurer, I'm pretty much just going to follow that strategy of David Owens right now, especially looking at the end of the stage. Once we go to the final part, the final leg of this race, and then Maurer will go into his own championship strategy. But if I'm him right now, I'm just going to follow Owens. In fact, whichever lane Owens picks, if I'm Maurer, I just get right behind him and say, you're going to drag me around, and nobody's going to make any points. Nobody's gaining any points. Nate Maurer, that 971, he's a crafty driver. You're not going to fool him. And, talking to Nate, the only way you're going to beat him is on some gas strategy.
Yeah, don't bring up fuel mileage or MPGs or hybrid or anything else to do with saving fuel around Nate Maurer, or he'll let you know about how he feels.
Can you blame him? I don't blame him. I mean, the guy is always in the, look at him right now, top 3. Guy runs top 3 week in, week out. And the only time we've seen him fade was like last week at Dover, when he had to come in for fuel. He did come in a little bit early. I think maybe there were some miscalculations done by that 971 Toyota team last week that had him, forced him in early. But unless there's some gas foolishness going on, Nate Maurer is a name you're going to see battling for that win week in and week out, along with, so far this season, David Owens, David Cook. Right now, the 11, David Owens, he's in that Tootsie's 11 Ford. He is your leader. Matt Tucker, 3,000, right behind him. Nate Maurer, Colin Bollinger up there. He's a top 4 guy. Matt Novella, the Rooster Babcock. Looks like he got out of KFC long enough to make his way here on the track. Joe Volpus, Nicholas Don Francesco, Kyle Lynn, Sean Walton. That's your top 10. Good to see Sean Walton consistently in the top 10, overcoming that early EOL, KK.
Yeah, he's moving his way up slowly but surely, getting track position every little bit of the way. So look for him to be a contender as long as he keeps that car under control and underneath him. He ain't
afraid to use that front bumper, right? I mean, he knows what to do.
No, he knows exactly what to do.
You know, he is our league leader in incident points right now. He is the captain of Team T-Bone.
Yeah, if you had him on your fantasy hockey team and hits were worth something, he'd definitely be someone you want to draft on your hockey team.
Is that like a PPT, a PP league? What do they call those in fantasy football? Points per touch?
Points per touch. Yes, right, Mean Gene.
You get a PPT league, he's going to be up at the top of it. But getting ready for this restart, though. Lights are off on that pace car. We will be going green next time we come through that Geico restart zone. David Owens on the outside in the 11. He will be your control car. We've got 12 laps remaining in this stage. Cars should have fuel. Tires, on the other hand, will be an issue. They say these things plow. Owens, control car. Let's see what kind of jump he can get over Matt Tucker 3000 on the inside.
53 really held back on the restart.
Because he knows his assignment. He knows the job. Look at Vulpes and Kyle Lynn. They're also kind of faded back. Babcock going to get by Novella on the outside for 5th place. But Tucker and Maurer, 2 and 3, battling right there. And behind them, Colin Bollinger. Bollinger's won this year. He knows what to do. He's in the 4th place position, just kind of waiting to see what these guys are going to do. And now, you know, if you follow Nate Maurer around the track, guess what? You're going to get a top 5 or even a podium out of this thing. And if he messes up, unless you run out of fuel, but he might just come right around here and find himself in 2nd place without even trying to put a pass on that 970.
Into the wall, and Maurer there trying to get a great exit. Just a little too much. He dug a little too much in there off the throttle, and is going to get up into the wall. It's going to slow him down a little bit.
Yeah, I gave him the broadcaster curse, didn't I?
Yeah, you can't make Nate Maurer happy. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I got to watch out for that kind of stuff. I know what'll make him happy. That's a podium victory lane finish, and he's definitely in the running for that right now. But he's got to do something if he thinks he's going to get by David Owens. You know, we talked about Owens dominating this race last year, and now Owens, who's found his way into the front, is just holding that line. Matt Tucker 3000, though, he has something to say about it. Tucker running smooth lines, but David Owens, also a veteran. He was one of the first guys I knew that made that jump from console racing onto the PC racing, and he's not running one screen, okay? This guy has got it set up. He's running top-of-the-line gear, and he's got a lot of hours on a lot of tracks, including this one and in this car. So David Owens is going to be tough to get around. But if anybody can do it, it would be Matt Tucker 3000. Behind them, Colin Bollinger. He's got a win. He's a top 4 series driver. 971 and Maurer running 4th. The Rooster Babcock, he's in 5th. Matt Novella, Sean Walton, all these guys within striking distance. But the only strike we're looking for right now is to see Owens strike a check, hit that caution, and make himself the stage 2 winner. That's lap 88 right now. We are closing down on lap 95, looking to come to the end of this stage.
Yeah, Matt Novella looking to get underneath the Babcock, the Rooster there, as the 2 shuts the door on him. We might have some tomfoolery in the back. I can't quite see. Yes, we do. It's outside corner. And Hunter, oh, so manly involved as we got cars everywhere coming out of turn 4 here at Smashville, baby.
Ooh. What happened back there? That's not the way to drive. You can't drive that way. You can't do that.
Let's roll that beautiful bean footage back, see if we can pick up exactly what happened here. All right, the 38 is going to come in late. That is not who we want to see. Let's see. I believe it happens further up. I know Alex McCorder is involved. Let's roll it.
Well, Alex did get that EOL at the end of that last caution, so it did force him back. He was driving aggressive. I see Joe Vulpes in that shot. He's in that purple 98. 15 and McCorder on the outside. Oh, it's ahead of them. Go back a little bit. Let's see that again.
I
was looking at the wrong parts.
Yeah, David Cook. It looks like it was involved there with the 8.
Oh no.
Okay, it's gonna start with Kyle and not Kyle Lynn.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
no.
the 3. So the 3 and the 988 are gonna touch. The 3 comes up the track.
Oh no!
And just starts a huge chain reaction. Oh my gosh!
That was the big one.
The 15, lots of damage. 38 of Johnson, Larry Johnson, big damage there.
Larry Johnson, he's got 2 modes, chill and kill. I imagine chill's not on the agenda after that contact.
Yeah, and Larry Johnson running that Black Rifle Chevy Camaro Army Green Wounded Warrior Projects Rocky Mountain Oysters car. Looking good there. Old 38 American flag flying in the wind.
I like that color.
Yeah, it's kind of like a shit green.
I bet he's not happy about being in the pits right now, but he's got a good car, and he's getting a close-up, Larry Johnson. Glad to get rid of that 900 number. Remember, Larry was running those 900 numbers. He's been up in the front a few times, but today he just finds himself caught up in the soup. Looks like a dark green pea soup with that color. So we are experiencing our 7th caution of the day. David Owens, and again, Owens has fire-like reflexes on these restarts. Not going to have the help of teammates, though. He's going to have a bunch of Hornets behind him ready to take him out. 48 is the Lucky Dog recipient. Did we weigh that car? That thing is moving awful fast around this track right now, but congratulations to the 48. It looks like he's going to...
Yeah, it looks like he's a little light there in the rear end. Have to keep an eye on that old 48. But I think that's going to be the stage, ain't it there, Mr. Mean Gene?
Well, they said 95.
Okay. Let's maybe we can bring in Jax or race control and get some perspective on what's going on out there on the stage.
Yeah, I love hitting these buttons. Let's see what Jax has to say. We'll pull him in. Here we go. Oh, I don't have the power to move him.
Oh man, he is unmovable. He's an unmovable force.
I went into his channel and it was kryptonite laced, and I just couldn't do anything about it.
I think I can move myself into his channel and ask him. So let's give this a try. Okay, here we go.
All right, I'll talk bad about you while you're gone.
Oh, I can't get in there either, man. He's got the doors locked and the window blinds down.
Hey, they got Richard Swingle in there with him. What are they up to?
I don't know, man, but if Swingle's in there with race control, something's going on.
They're having a party. They are having... You know who I can ask? We can ask another member of the team, of the officiating team. And I know he won't mind. We're going to pull David Owens in for just a moment.
Our third broadcaster. Yeah, bring in our third broadcaster.
Bringing him in. Hey, David Owens, got Mean Gene Money here. You got me, bud?
Gotcha.
All right, so it looked like 95 is when they're calling for the end of it. Was that you going to do the end of it, or y'all going to have a shootout?
It's the start of 95, so it's going to be a green-white checkered for the stage right here.
Green, white, checkered. All right, I'm going to let you go because you got to have your focus right here. Good luck, Dave.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, boy.
All right. Last time we had him in here too long, he had a little contact, cost him a stage. I don't want to be that again.
I feel like that was self-inflicted there, Mean Gene.
That's true. I was trying to move him.
He was in here on his own accord.
Yeah, I lost an ankle bracelet trying to boot him out of here. All right, here we go. Owens on the inside. He is your control car. Matt Tucker 3000 on the outside. We are green. Look at the jump by Owens. He brings Bollinger with him on the inside. Bollinger and Tucker 3000 side by side. Nate Maurer. He's the orange car on the inside as well. Side by side racing for second place. Novella on the outside in that beautiful green, orange, and yellow car. And Babcock. Those are the 6 cars that we're looking at. Kyle Lynn, part of the action. Sean Walton, he of the front bumper. Look at that move by Brenner on the inside of Cook. These guys are fighting hard on this green, white, checkered. Oh, my word. Owens, though. Look at that lead he's got, KK.
Yeah, way out the big old lead because he's got all these cars fighting behind him as the 66-53 side by side. Bollinger looking to get past and clear to 66, but the 66 says no way. As we're going back to that, folks, we are green. Got to get the graphic back up. But yeah, 66.
Look at Brenner's 3 wide with 2 cars. Unbelievable. And now Bobby Dodson is in. Kyle Lynn trying to avoid a wreck. Good driving by Lynn right there. But it is going to be David Owens. Boom. Shakalaka. David Owens is going to take your
Oh, and he gets
second
into the back
place.
of Nate Maurer, the two Robert Babcock, Brenner. The stage break catches them off all by surprise as there's contact.
I believe it was said best in the television program Dexter. Surprise, mother trucker. As we see a little bit of
damage. That damaged the 971 right there, Mean Gene.
It's not what Kyle Lynn needs. Kyle is trying to put together, he's already on the bubble of getting a black flag. He was the initiator receiving an EOL early in the race. He doesn't want to see another one. Hopefully he can overcome this. The big loser, though, in that last one, we saw Joe Volpus ate up an EOL, and he was forced to the back on that last restart. So Joe Volpus not going to get any points after being up in the front of that race. But the names we're looking at the end of stage 2, your winner, David Owens. Matt Tucker, 3000. He is in second. Bollinger, Maurer, Novella, Babcock, 6th, Brenner, Walton, Andrew Bolander, 9th, and Kyle Lynn, 10th. Let's go see what's going to happen with that damage, KK. All the cars are coming in. It is bulls on parade down pit road.
Oh, yeah. I'm just taking a look at old Maurer's rear end here, and it did get damaged there on that hit. As you can see, that back bumper, hopefully that didn't change anything on that rear spoiler, or is this a drag? It could have touched it, though.
That's a little bit of favoritism. Last time I was checking out a rear end, I ended up with the restraining order, so I'm not really sure how you're getting away with that. But anyway, we're sitting here looking at the rear end of Nate Maurer. He looks like he got a little bit of a touch. Nothing that's going to pull out a court order, but look at Owens. He gets rolling quick. You can see Novella rolling. Volpus with a quick stop and go right there. Oh, I'm sorry. It was Sean Walton. So these front cars, there's Steve Lewis coming out good.
Yeah, and David Cook right now at the top of the leaderboard for blinks. He's at a whopping 65 blinks right now. Second place, Blinker only has 13.
Not what we're looking for out of David Cook. Hopefully Cook will stabilize. We need to see that 71 back up in the front. Remember, the last 8 races have been won by 3 drivers, David Cook, David Owens, and Nate Maurer. So not unexpected that we see David Owens taking that stage. Matt Tucker, 3000, throwing his name into the ring, though, to be one of our top finishers. So pace car is still got the lights on, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to go into the final leg of this race here at Nashville. And Mean Gene is going to take this opportunity to get a little bit of ice and a little bit of a refill. This stage of the race brought to you by Basil Hayden. KK, I shall return in about 60 seconds.
Yeah, no problem. So look at that damage there on the 71. That's what he was in there getting some extra work done. He was in there for about 64 seconds, getting some more of that rear end damage taken care of. Not sure that happened on that yellow for the stage break, but that caught a lot of drivers by surprise. Let's take a look around the field, see who else I can find, look at. If there's any damage. There's David Brenner. Saw him involved a little bit, but he looks pretty clean. Pretty dark. Let's see if I do this. A little bit better. Maybe we'll go with that one for the rest of the night. All right, and then Nate Maurer. Did he get any of that repaired on the back end? Let's take a look. Yeah, they got that thing buffed out. He looks like he's no worse for wear. Is that Dave Kirkpatrick at the leader? Oh my. All right, folks, better buckle those seatbelts tight, because old Dave's up there in the front. 10-lap run. Car looks like it's in pretty good shape. It's got David Owens behind him, going to be in row 2. Matt Tucker's going to start, look like he's going to start on his outside. Colin Bollinger, and there's Sean Wall. We keep bringing up Sean. Gonna start in row 3, outside lane. Been working his way up ever so slightly. Now he finds himself in P6 at the beginning of our last stage. That's gonna be a lap 140. So we got a 40 lapper here to the end of the race. as those pace car lights are off and headed down the Ally backstretch.
Yep, we are seeing some exciting racing here. Dave Kirkpatrick being shown in the front now. That's a new name we haven't seen in a while, running in that 27 Chevrolet. Miller Genuine Draft. Shout out to the old school Rusty Wallace paint scheme. Beautiful paint scheme. Matt Tucker 3000. David Owens, Colin Bollinger, Matt Novella, Sean Walton. So Gulf Coast Racing still making an appearance. Pit car is off. The 27 of Kirkpatrick is going to be your control car. He's on the inside. He's got David Owens and Novella, the Gulf Coast teammates, right behind him. Novella gets tapped. Looks like there was a lot of spinning going on right there. Really unfortunateness. That is got to bring out, but there is not a caution on the track. Look at 27 of Kirkpatrick. He's got to be happy to see that foolishness. Tucker gets tapped by Owens. Tucker pushes his way into the front. He's on that outside. Owens, though, that guy doesn't know where the brakes are. He is on checkers or wreckers. Speaking of checkers or wreckers, there's Sean Walton in fifth. Up there, Mr. Womp Womp himself, and Colin Bollinger better make sure that he has a clean line with some strong entries, or he too could be a victim. Right now, though, Matt Tucker, 3,000 is your leader. David Owens, these guys were 1 and 2, but the opposite direction just a few moments ago. But it's those same two guys, KK, and they're going to be battling it out for the next few laps.
Yeah, 10-4. Throw it back in the field. You got the 8 and the 89 side by side. A couple battles. There's Nate Maurer trying to get his way back up through traffic after getting some of that repairs done. And there's Bobby Dotson getting the better end of the exchange over Andrew Bolander. Bobby Dotson now chasing down the 44. Yeah. Yeah, he's a fast man.
You got to expect to see that 32 Napa up in the front pretty soon, at least in the top 5. Bolander, though, that's another guy that's a top 10 name. And I'll tell you what, speaking of top 10 names, Tommy Fox, the 57 Toyota, he's made his way back into 12th. He's right ahead of Nate Maurer right now, Tommy Fox. He doesn't need any more of this foolishness. He needs a nice top 10 to keep his points day going. Good run by Tommy Fox. Let's see if he can avoid the foolishness. He's got some of the likely candidates in front of him, though, so he can avoid that imminent wreck. I think he might be in it for a top 10 day as well. Good racing right there, 971 inside of him. Strong run right now by Mowers. He needs to make his way back up. Don't know how much damage he had. I didn't want to get on the horn and ask him if it affected his fuel cell. That would have just been poking the bear.
Yeah, for Mean Gene, and there we go with Bobby's man. Now Bobby's trying to get past Andrew Bolander and get behind, follow the 44 through. And there in the further way in the back, you see David Cook in the 71 making his way through. He took a lot of repair damage there to try to fix that rear end, but it looks like it might have slowed him down quite a bit as the 56 Matt Novella gets loose. He doesn't go up high, gets it under control, and Bobby Dawson doesn't drive right through him. Bobby showing some patience there.
Yep, you got the 971 Kyle Lynn. He sees those cars in trouble. He ducks it down low, and he gets right behind Novella right now. Bobby Dodson taking the wise road, going up high. Also Tommy Fox right behind him. Up in front, though, Matt Tucker. He is trying to pull away with this thing. 0.7 of a second lead, and behind him Owens and Bollinger are doing a little bit of a dance. A little bit behind that, you see Walton and Kirkpatrick. So if you're Tucker 3000, you've got to be excited to see that gap starting to form behind you. You're going to have to take another pit stop for fuel. But the question is, do I take tires, and will it be under caution or not? 7 cautions here today at Nashville, lap 106. We got 34 laps to go. Exciting racing. This is race number 12 in our 13-race regular season. Winning you're in situation. Matt Tucker, he doesn't have enough points to qualify, so he could steal that Willy Wonka golden ticket from another guy. And that the guy right now, the next driver that doesn't have a win would be Sean Walton, who's running in 4th. Sean Walton, he's 14th in points, so really interesting math going on. I'm still wearing my shoes, so I can't really break it down that much for you, KK.
It's all right. It's a lot to take in, all these points going up and down.
Yeah, you can't do the math unless you take off your shoes. and then it gets really hard. A little
And
bit of
smelly.
side by side as we go back. You can see, that's exactly what I was looking at too. The 44 and the 22. Is he twice as good as him, or is he half as good as he? As you can see, the 44 slip right in front of that 22, and then the 8 of Bollinger right. I'm sorry, the 8. I was Bolander right behind him. Good racing here at Nashville. Green flag racing, and that's what we want to see. Nate Maurer still trying to overcome that damage. He's in that 971 orange car running on the outside right behind the 22 of Brenner. Strong run. Chris Cornell ahead of them. trying to
Yellow
close
out.
that gap.
Yellow out.
Ooh, let's make a mark. That's going to be caution number 8 here today at Smashville.
All right, let's.
Oh no, that was Joe Vulpes. Don't tell me, Joe.
Let's
Say it ain't so, Joe. And Lewis, no. Oh, Louis.
What a shot!
And then Joe Amato, a different Joe, gets involved.
Yeah, Joe's just driving down the neighborhood, slinging out those Omaha steaks, asking you if you got room in your freezer, and drives by, gives him a little tap there. As Steve Lewis, though, is going to be the instigator on this one.
Looks like he just takes out Larry Johnson right there.
Oh!
And then Joe Amato gets a little tappy poo.
He hit him so hard. He hit him so hard that the numbers are crooked on the side of the car now. That's unbelievable.
Wow, no quick repairs here today. So I think we might see some cars coming behind the trailer. Speaking of coming down, look at this. We see Matt Tucker, Colin Bollinger, and Sean Walton all coming down. David Owens staying out on the track. Owens is going to be your leader. Got Brenner right behind him. A lot of strategy. Kyle Lynn staying out. Bobby Dodson also staying out on the track. There's Richard Swingle. I see our lucky dog zipping his way around as he drives straight through the pace car. That's always fun to drive through the pace car. Do you remember the first time that you saw someone make contact, or you was the first person?
I thought you were asking
hit the
about my
pace
first
car?
time. No, you know what? I remember the pace car zooming by me, and it scared me, and I got scared.
I thought it had substance. I didn't know you could go through it, or it could go through you. It was terrifying my first time.
Yeah. It's like like the movie Ghost with Patrick Swayze, kind of.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Except-
but there's no pottery.
Or I was just gonna say that, man. There's no pottery.
that was the scene of the movie, right?
That is the scene in the movie, yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right,
really.
Mean Gene, I'm gonna put this bad boy on the leader. I'm gonna go get another water here and maybe a refreshment as these pace car lights are on and I'll be right back.
All right, we still have other cars. You can see lap drivers now taking this opportunity to come to the pits. David Owens, he stays on the track. This news just in, looks like Jay Stinson has gone ahead and taken it behind the trailer. Jay Stinson, unfortunately, in that wreck, the driver of the 89 Toyota, he is parking it. We're going to lose him for the day as well. So, Smashville collecting car parts as these men are making their way around. 8 cautions so far here today at Nashville. David Owens currently in the lead. He's got 16 laps on those tires. Top 5 cars, all with 16 laps on their tires. Behind them, 6 through 12, they all came into the pits to get some freshies, and looks like they got fuel as well as tires. Kirkpatrick and Cornette just taking fuel in that last bit of strategy. So, still going to need to come in for another pit, I would think, those top 5 cars, but we'll just have to see. They've got 16 on them right now. They say that they can make 45, 28. That's right at 40, so they might make it. They actually, especially with these cautions. So theoretically, if you trust my math, and remember, ladies and gentlemen, I did not take my shoes off, so I can't count to 10 with any type of, above 10 with any kind of accuracy. all the cars should be able to make it to the final, even if it runs green the whole time. Lights are off on the pace car. David Owens in the control car position. He's on the inside. David Brenner behind him. Kyle Lynn. Remember, Lynn did cause an accident earlier. One more contact for him is going to give him a drive-through penalty. Bobby Dodson, one of the fastest cars in practice. He's on that outside of row 2. Swingle. Tucker 3000. That guy has been fast all day. Matt Tucker laid down the fastest lap in practice, currently outside of lane 3 in 6th position. Colin Bollinger, Sean Walton, David Kirkpatrick, Chris Cornett. That is your top 10. Where are the other champions? Nate Maurer in 11th right now. He did pit. And David Cook also. Cook and Maurer on fresh tires. So we'll see if the damage of Maurer affects him, and we'll see if the cars, the traffic, can slow Cook down. Here we go. Pace car off. The 11 is about to control this thing as he comes into the Geico restart zone. Let's see what kind of run Owens can get. And he is off like a rocket. Kyle Lynn sticks with him. Brenner not fooled. Lynn and Brenner going to be side by side coming into turn 1. The 97 of Richard Swingle. He's got White Castle for days. Man, that guy makes good paint jobs. He is in 4th. Matt Tucker, Colin Bollinger, Sean Walton, Chris Cornett. Lots of side-by-side racing. Oh, I heard some screaming on the radio. I was waiting to see a caution, but it looks like we're going to keep it green. Yeah, really, KK, I'm sitting there looking at Maurer and Cook, and if they can cut their way through this traffic to make it a contest.
Yeah, no, you're right there, Mean Gene. And it looks like they did take tires, so they're hoping for a long green flag run. David Owens and up in front company, they're probably hoping for another caution later on. Later on.
This just in, Larry Johnson, Chillerkill has put it behind the trailer. Hopefully, we're going to see a puff of smoke coming out of his trailer later as he gets into chill mode. And Steve Lewis was given the EOL for that last incident.
97 of Lewis, 97 Swingle. Swingle gets into the 53.
I think the Bollinger's going to save it, though, but he's got some choice words on that radio right now for what just happened. I bet that butt is puckering right now, and he wears a brown fire suit, so there will be no evidence of nervousness from the 53. Nate Maurer, though, takes that opportunity.
Yeah. Nate Maurer just squeezes up in there. Probably Bollinger probably got red in his eyes, wanting to see the 97, and Nate needed that room though to slide up for his exit. As Nate's got to check up big time for the 97, and here comes the 53. Okay, races him clean so far. Is he's going to try to make this pass?
If I'm Swingle, though, I let him go by and fall into line. That's just me.
Yeah, kind of, tip your hat, say my bad, and be on your way.
Yep. Oh, another car kind of fading back there. You can see, wow, this is some tight racing. Tucker 3000. Oh, my word. They are side by side. That's Tucker and Kyle Lynn. Tucker's going to try to do a little slide job. Not going to do it, but he does get side by side with Owens. Tucker on the inside. Owens on the outside. Can Owens keep momentum? Kyle Lynn, Chris Cornett. Cornett has made his way into the top 4. And then Sean Walton, he of the front bumper in 5th. This is some crazy stuff. Matt Tucker, your new leader.
Yeah, Matt Tucker driving on those fresh rubbers. And here comes the 71 of David Cook on the outside of David Brenner. Nate Maurer a little further behind just because I feel like he was stuck in traffic. Not able to get through as cleanly as the 44 and the 98 touch there a little bit. As they're touching, the socks are about to come off, and they stay on.
Leave them on. Leave them on. Remember, if you're driving, always wear a white cotton shirt and 2 pair of white socks, because you never know when you're going to need them for warmth if you end up in county. And that's also what you should do on the track here. Always wear 2 pair of white socks. I'll tell you what, Matt Tucker, he might be checking out right here. He's got no socks, no shirt, nothing but a fire suit, and he's looking like a champion. Matt Tucker 3000 trying to check out right now.
And there goes Chris Cornett passing our past leader there, David Owens. Owens now falls back to P3 under duress from Sean Walton to take over that spot, as Sean's going to look underneath this time right by, thinks differently. Trying
Oh,
to
he's
go
got a
get-
laser dot. He's got a laser dot on that left rear quarter panel of Owens. You better watch out, David.
Well, if David keeps blocking like that, he is going to get it.
Ooh, and you could see Cook come right up into Kyle Lynn, and Lynn holds it straight. Maurer now taking a peek under Kyle Lynn. So these guys back here, Cook and Maurer on fresh tires, need to make their way through the mess. Owens and Walton are on older tires. They cannot afford to press it. But Matt Tucker, he's up there. He did that 14-second pit stop, and you know what that means? Tires.
Yeah, no, like you said, the top three all have the same set of tires, and Nate Maurer and David Cook got to get going here and to have a chance to catch as the 71 and 971 are balanced side by side here, as the 71 pinches Maurer down there a little bit, gives him a harder exit.
Oh, these guys have been fighting. In fact, right there, you can see the 11 coming into the picture on the different strategy, and then the 971 and the 71. These guys have been battling each other all year. And even though this is for 4th, 5th, and 6th, this is the three guys that we have just seen banging doors and whacking bumpers all year long. Right behind them, Colin Bollinger. Not a mistake that he's in there. Bollinger, he's 5th in points. He's right in that mess. And right ahead of them, Chris Cornett, he's 3rd in points. So you're seeing the top 6 guys are the top 5 in points. The only odd man out is Matt Tucker, but with that 3,000 driver rating, it is not a surprise for anybody here that Matt Tucker would be leading this race. KK, this is just some great racing between the top 5 guys in this league.
Yeah, no doubt. And then I don't want to, make Matt Tucker feel like he's the only one, because we also got Colin Bollinger, big old 3,600 I rating there too. So got some big tough drivers up here. As 23 Sean looks underneath the 44. 44 is going to give up that spot and let Sean go, as Sean's going to take over P2, I believe.
Yeah, Sean is on a mission right now, and kudos to him for not using that bumper. I mean, I would, but he doesn't need it right now. He's on a heck of a strategy. And how about that? David Owens is trying to nurse that car around, but these cars with the fresher rubber are just able to go underneath him. Once the 11 starts plowing, the other cars just push right on by. David Owens is going to lose another position right there to the 53 of Bollinger. Now he's got David Cook behind him knocking on that same door. The 8 of Bolander now as well looking under Cook. Why is Cook going that direction, KK? Did something happen?
I don't know. I think it might just be the damage that he sustained, because you can see that back end still twisted up just quite a bit. So it could be the damage, or who knows? Who really knows what's going on right now with old Cook? Has he battled it real hard? Maybe got the tires really hot. But
yeah, 10 laps, they said it starts plowing. So I think we've reached that 10-lap window on this most recent green lap run. So you're right. I think once you hit 10 laps...
Owens putting a block on the 8.
Ouch. He took that block all the way up. Good stuff. Good stuff. Ryan Newman would be proud.
It looks like the 8's going to prevail on the outside lane here, especially after this front stretch run. He's going to be able to make the move and take over P6.
Good run there by Andrew Bolander in that number 8 Chevrolet. We're still keeping an eye on the rest of the action, ladies and gentlemen. Matt Tucker has now got a 1-second lead over the number 2 car of Sean Walton. Chris Cornett trying to close the gap, but you're looking at almost another second between 2nd and 3rd place. And then Nate Maurer. Remember Maurer with that left rear damage that he took. He's trying to overcome it. He does have those fresh tires, but these guys, they said after 10 laps, these cars start to plow unless you're doing something magical. Well, guess what? Nate Maurer is a magician. He knows how to roll that car, and he just needs a few more laps to watch those cars in front of him start to have a fall off. And I mean a fall off for sure. They're talking about a full second after 10 laps and then 2 seconds off after 30 laps on a run. Right now, though, we've got 10 laps remaining in this race. How much more can David Owens hold off this field? Look at the 57 of Tommy Fox on the outside. Tommy Fox making a run as he in the 56 Novella trying to chase down David Cook, and right ahead of them, David Owens. So great run here by Tommy Fox. Really happy to see him having the kind of day that he deserves. I watched Tommy win on Friday night just a few weeks ago, and he did express a little bit of disappointment in his performances here in the larger series. So great job to see him taking that Mountain Dew car right now. You can see him poking. David Cook's definitely milking that car, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, he's got some issues there in the 71, I believe. And the folks of like David Owens and some of these guys that haven't take tires, they're just praying for another caution here so they could throw on a set of freshies and have a chance. But Matt Tucker right now running the fastest laps of the session right now. Andrew Bolander actually ran the fastest lap this lap, but Andrew's back 3 seconds of the leader right now.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to close that gap. So basically, right now we're watching a lot of guys. Some of them would be content with their position. Other ones would like to move up. But all these drivers right now are just milking their car as best they can, which kind of reminds me, I was talking to a friend and he asked me about milking and cows. Do you know what you call a cow with no legs, KK?
I'm not sure, but I feel like you're going to tell me.
Beef. Ground beef. You know what you call a cow with epilepsy? Beef jerky. Beef jerky. So the milking continues. Matt Novella now on the tail of his Gulf Coast Racing teammate, Owens. Owens really taking this car the wrong way. He is just holding on, praying for position. I guess he was just taking that chance, like you said, looking for the caution and get that opportunity to put that last set of tires on his car. But right now, those fresh tires of Tucker, Walton, and Maurer making such a difference. Tucker, though, he has pushed that lead over Walton to 1.9. It's going up to 2 seconds. Tucker is running a rail, and unless there's a lightning strike, I think he's going to lead these last 6 laps and find himself up in victory lane.
Yeah, I think so, unless some caution comes out in the last 5 laps here, because Matt Tucker is throwing down some awesome laps here. Nathan, a little bit faster that time around, but Nate's is over 2 seconds behind, so I don't think it's enough of a delta there for him to catch up. But he might have a chance at Sean, so we'll have to keep our eyes on this battle here.
That really is the interesting one that we're looking at from my perspective, is Maurer. Can he close the gap on Sean Walton? Maurer is your points leader. He'd like to push a little bit more of a gap between him and Owens and Cook. But Sean Walton, he's also got a vested interest in this thing. Sean Walton, he's in that 14th and final position for the playoffs, and he would love to make his way up through there. I just heard Maurer talking right now with McWhorter, though, so there might be a little bit of strategy going on back there. Not sure. I don't have full access to the radios, but definitely a little bit.
Alex was a lap car, and Nate might have been telling him thanks for getting out of the way, or something like that, as Nate's trying to line up Sean right now.
No, and here it is. This is going to be a battle. Walton definitely wants to hold this position, but Nate Maurer, he is accustomed to running in front. He does not like cars in front of him. He's probably going to line up Walton quickly. Let's see how fast Maurer can make a roll through this turn and eat him up. But Walton has that car dialed in right now. We are looking at the final 2 laps coming out. This is really good race for Matt Tucker. He has got to be excited as he is starting to barrel down on that dub. But right behind him, you can see this is where we've got some action. Walton and Maurer. Good in-car cam right here of Maurer as he is trying to put Walton into his sights. The missile beeper, the missile audio is beeping, but Walton keeps moving left and right before the missile gets dialed in. He's got 2 more laps to hold on. Long run right here. Good run back there. Tommy Fox is going to take that 9th place position. Owens falling back to 8th. All right, looks like Maurer is content to take 3rd place. I just heard him communicate with Walton that he is not concerned. Through the Geico restart zone, across the start-finish line.
last lap, Mean Gene. That's Matt Tucker here, headed down the backstretch one last time here at Nashville.
He is just dialed in. That guy has just run a heck of a race. Fastest lap in practice, fastest lap on the track today. Behind him, Sean Walton is going to be in the second place as Maurer backed off. You can see Tucker bring it through the restart zone, and he's going to bring it across that start-finish line. And your winner here today, ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be the 66 Matt Tucker 3000. He is your winner here today. Congratulations to the 66 Chevrolet. What a run. That guy was on fire today, KK.
Yeah, great job there by Matt, as we see Nate just hit the brakes at the start-finish line and let Andrew Bolander go by. Not sure what that was all about, but something to keep an eye on there with standings. See if that might have got Andrew into the playoffs. I'm not sure exactly how far Andrew was, but just noticed
well,
that
Bolander
there.
was in 8th, but he was right behind Joe Amato. So perhaps there's something going on there, something that we're not aware of. Kyle Lynn as well. So Bolander could move up to 6th. You know, that would be a spot, but that still wouldn't get him quite the points he wants. Maybe that's something we could talk to Andrew Bolander about. But right now, the win, and look at him, Walton. Look at Walton using his front bumper to help Matt Tucker do a spin. Not a surprise. Hey, Sean Walton, you didn't win this race, but you're going to do some donuts too. Good for you, pal. As they are now, look, they're about to touch. The socks come off, and there it is.
Now
look
the socks come off. Yep,
Look at
now the
that.
socks come off. I understand. Now I understand.
Yeah, maybe Joe Amato can throw in some T-bones, because there it is. Little bit of action right there. What a race. You know, we did have the 8 cautions. Less and less. I think that rule really helps, KK. But your finishing order tonight, Matt Tucker with the win. Sean Walton, 2nd. Andrew Bolander, he'll be on the podium. Nate Maurer, 4th. Colin Bollinger, gonna take 5th. Chris Cornett, 6th. Matt Novella, 7th. Great run by Matt. David Owens, 8th. Tommy Fox slipping into that top 10. Great run, Tommy, 9th. And David Cook takes it from David Brenner there at the end. David Cook is going to finish in 10th place. Really strong running here. We could see those tires become an issue after 10 laps. And let's take this opportunity now to just have a chat with some of our finishers. First person that we're going to try to pull in is going to be Andrew Bolander. I'm peeking around. I think I see him. And now we're going to rip him from the womb straight into the broadcast channel. Hey, Andrew Bolander, Mean Gene Money here with KK. Do we got your buddy?
Yeah, you got me.
All right. You know, you were in 4th place there at the end, and then now I turn left and right, and then I look back and I see you up on the podium. Can you tell me what happened that last 2 corners?
Nate's a good guy.
Nate is a good guy. That is absolutely true. Nate Maurer, he is our series leader, that 971 Toyota. But Andrew, you know, all jokes aside, you were cutting through traffic there at the end there like butter. Tires, did you take the 4 at that last opportunity, and did that really help you make those moves?
Yes, I took 4, and it definitely helped me make the moves.
Yeah, we saw cars like David Owens just going the wrong way. These other guys around you, though, they took 4 as well. You came up out of the pits. You were in around 8th, I want to say, on that restart, made some moves. Did the other guys start plowing before you, and that let you cut under? Because you made some moves on the outside to get through there as well, right?
Yes, just I had better tires, and the people that had tires that were same pit stop, and just better.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what we saw was a case of the 8 rolling a little bit better than some of those guys. Andrew, you showed a lot of patience, and you didn't really push your car until you had that opportunity to make that move, and that allowed that number 8 Chevrolet to find its way into the podium. Great run by Andrew. Andrew, anybody you want to give a shout out to tonight?
Nate and my boy Celtics, and then Colin Bollinger. He's a good guy too.
Absolutely. Really strong run here by Andrew. Hopefully, we're going to see you moving up in the points. You were in 8th but you were only a few points behind Amato and Kyle Lynn going into that. I think after we see these points spin around, you might be up as high as possibly 6 in points. Ladies and gentlemen, your third place finisher tonight, Andrew Bolander, the pilot of the number 8 Chevrolet. Great run, Andrew. Thanks for the show.
Thank you.
And now, KK, I think you got Sean in the radio.
Let me see.
Hello.
Hey, Sean, great job there at P2, man. Looks like that strategy of taking those tires at that moment really paid off. As looks like the top 5 of you guys were able to cash in off of that. But yeah, just tell us how your race went and anything that you saw there at the end trying to chase down Matt Tucker.
Well, I had to start in the back this race for some reason, and first 2 stages was kind of hard trying to get stage points because I don't know, like, my point situation going to the playoffs. This P2 most definitely helped, and yeah, that strategy I didn't think it was going to work because tires really, that like 10 lap run tires didn't really wear that much, but it ended up working. Got a nice P1, 2, and 3 with my friends.
Hey man, that's awesome, man. Yeah, like you said, you did come back from that EOL and able to get a P2, so great job, being diligent throughout the day. But yeah, Sean, great job with the P2. And like Mean Gene said, any shout outs or anything else you want to do here before you get out of here?
I'd like to give a shout out to my mom, my grandma, and my boy Colin Bollinger. He's a good guy. Pretty good guy.
All right, 10-4. All right, Mean Gene, we got our winner here, Matt Tucker.
I'm not going to pass on the message, but I got Christopher Smurrell sending me a text, and he says he knows why Sean started last in that last race, but I won't go into that right now. I'll tell you what, though, let's talk about our winner today, Matt Tucker, 3000. How about this guy? He pulls out his second stage win. The guy has a pole to his credit, and now here in just his 6th start, he also has a win. Matt Tucker, are you there, buddy?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, oh man, what a show. I mean, I got to ask you, was your car on top of a magnetic rail? What's going on out there?
I mean, Nashville is usually a good track for me, especially in the Xfinity cars. So, just saving tires is really what just tried to do, like I told you guys after the first stage, and it ended up working up at the end. We had that caution there with like 20 to go, which saved some sets with like what Andrew and Sean had said too. So we worked well together tonight with strategy wise, and ended up with 1, 2, 3, and then 5th down there with Colin.
That was a heck of a run. I was unaware of the team element going on. We definitely saw the team of Gulf Coast Racing, David Cook, Joe Volpus, and a lot of blocking out there by Matt Novella in the middle of the race and the very beginning of that. Did you feel the effects of some of that teamwork of theirs? And do you think that your team, with your strategy, overcame it? I mean, was there a team rivalry there for a few moments?
I mean, I didn't really have that many too big of battles tonight. I mean, me and the 971 and Colin and David Cook at the beginning. I didn't really get the vibe that there was like a lot of aggressive. I mean, that last restart, the guys that stay on tires are obviously going to fight for the positions, and which that's their right to. So ended up getting around. That was the Kyle, and then got around David at the end there too. So good racing then throughout the night, and then don't know where we are next week, but we'll see if we can put on a show there too.
Well, I'll tell you what, you did lay down the fastest time. And you put it down on that last section as well. That 30.4 was just you running on a rail. And you took over that fastest lap from David Owens. David Owens either choosing not to take tires or he was out. We'll have to check in with him later. But he was victimized by your fresher tires at the end. But you definitely had the fastest car out there, Matt. That was a hell of a show that you put on for the fans. And I'll tell you what, personally, I got to say, it was nice to see somebody not named Nate or David take a win. We've watched those 3 guys take the last 8 races, and so to watch somebody else just step up and snatch that trophy was quite enjoyable for myself. Anybody you want to give a shout out to beyond your teammates?
I mean, just everyone that's watching. And you guys as well. I mean, broadcaster, I know are not easy to come by. I mean, they're hard to do. So thanks for you guys for all you do for this league.
Hey, I'll tell you what, if you got on the track with me, you'd know why I'm an announcer. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Tucker, the 66 Chevrolet, he breaks the streak of the David, and Nate show as he takes the win at Nashville, ran the fastest lap in practice, and you like to see the fastest guy take the win at the end. Matt, thank you, sir. Great run. Can't wait to see you next week, my friend.
Yeah, appreciate it.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap things up for us. That was race 12. We've got one more race left on our schedule in the regular season. We will be broadcasting that next Wednesday. Please join myself, Kevin, Kyle, as we continue to bring you some of the greatest racing in all of YouTube iRacing going on today. Kevin, any last thoughts?
No, Gene, just another great Wednesday night. And like you said, glad to see a new winner, a new face out there. So congrats to Matt. And looking forward to the end of the regular season.
Yeah, only a matter of time till he started putting that together. That was his 6th race. He made his way through that traffic. Again, 31 cars out on that track, continuing to see these big fields. And you know why, ladies and gentlemen? It's us, it's them, but it's also you. Take this opportunity, hit like, hit subscribe, go to your grandmother's house, log in on their computer, and make grandma log in too. We'll take all the likes and subscribes that we can handle. Let's push this thing up on the algorithm for everybody. So that is going to wrap it up as we see Matt Tucker break the streak. He is your winner, and we will see you again next week. As always, ladies and gentlemen, bottoms up and hammer down.